All right, this is Dr. A with the King Amir Patel on the gambling side. The best of two minds together, injury information and data combined with player ability and gambling excellency. So let's talk about Amir. Let's talk about Titans and Packers Thursday night. What do we got as a spread?
Well, it's right now
What
over
is
under
it?
41,
Okay, over under is 41. So
and
the Titans defensive line is a 0.84. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this so you can see it. You see it
yeah,
now, right? Okay. So you see the defensive line is a 0.84 for the Titans, the defensive secondary.
hold on,
So the,
0.84 for the Titans.
yeah,
Hold on, yeah, there I see it now. Okay,
and then 0.22 for the defensive secondary. And now all of a sudden the offensive skills players woke up last Sunday for the Packers. So they're going to be going up, the Packers are going to be going up against a beat up defensive line and defensive secondary. So so that's one sort of significant
one
thing
thing
that
to
I'm
think
seeing.
about, but one thing to think about is you look on the report, safety Amani Hooker, okay, very good player. He's back, okay, so he's
Yeah.
been gone, and then check the report. Uh, 2021 Pro Bowl player. Okay, so good player Jeffrey Simmons.
Okay, hold on.
See if
Yeah, you're
he's
right.
supposed.
Yeah, Amani Hooker, 92.75%. So, I
Mhm.
mean, he's really back. So, and
Yeah, and
then
then
who did you
check
say?
Jeffrey Simmons, I believe.
There he is. Yeah, he's at a 5
Okay,
out of 10. So, it's a
okay,
decent so, but
but
his
he's
injury
been
risk
out.
is
So at
at
least he's
28%.
back, but he's been out. Okay.
He's back, but he's right now we're predicting he'll only be at like a 47.75%
Okay.
effectiveness.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's kind of, and if you look at just hold on, let me go back to the dashboard. Let's see. Let's see dashboard here. So what's the spread? What's the spread on
Uh,
that game?
Titans getting 3.
So Titans getting 3. And where's the
Mhm.
game played?
In Green
Where's
Bay.
it's in Green Bay. It's a Thursday night game. So
This is going to be the coldest game in November, in Green Bay. I think in like 20 years or something. Like before, like the coldest game that they've had.
right. Okay. So we've got super cold game.
Hmm.
Here we go.
And
Okay.
Tennessee is a warm weather team. Okay, overall. So
Yeah. And so super cold game. Here we go. All right. Um so we've got, I mean, a banged up Titans defensive line and defensive secondary. Does that
hmm
surprise you, that line? Does that surprise you that it's Titans, like,
Titans getting 3 points.
yeah.
Well, obviously, it's one of those things. The Packers come and win the game last week. Kind of were being beat the whole time, but when you there, it does surprise me. Before I look at the report, one of the things that surprises me is the Titans have like the Green Bay won the game really by running the ball last week. Okay,
Right.
they
Yeah.
had like 200 some yards running between Dillon and Jones. Okay,
Yeah.
they had like 203 or something. Um,
Right.
Tennessee is the second or third best run defense in the league. Okay,
Right.
and so I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball that well. But one of the things that does, because I thought that the line Titans getting 3 points, I was like, I didn't know. I didn't think that that was accurate. Okay,
Yeah.
I
So if you
thought
look,
I thought it would be more of a pick'em type of game. Okay.
yeah, I think
Um,
I think look, based on the data, if I told you that since the last game, the Titans defensive line score is even worse at 0.84 and their secondary is even more beat up at 0.22, that going against Green Bay with like maybe a more revolutionized offense, I mean, I see the Packers winning this game. You know, um, and the other thing is that remember how you were really taken aback by Rodgers in the last game. I mean, the previous games because he kept throwing turnovers in the red zone, right?
Yeah.
And now last game he was like 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 in the red zone, right?
Well,
So
we talked about it. He had 3 interceptions, I guess, in the Lions game, right? And
yeah,
I think he had 3 interceptions all last year.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean, I think, and we've been discussing this. I just feel like it's hard to bet against Aaron Rodgers, but we've seen that it hasn't gone
right,
well early, like
right.
where some of the discussions we've had. But um,
Well, so the question is okay, let's talk about so
well,
it's Titans -3, right?
no, Titans
I'm
plus
sorry,
three.
Titans plus
Yeah,
3. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
Titans
So it's
plus three.
Titans plus 3. Um, you know, the 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 offensive skills players for the Packers, and just for our listeners, offensive skills players means the quarterback, the best wide receiver, and the best running back. So they're at a 4 out of 10, good. So it's not like great, it's not optimal. The offensive skills players are really good for the Titans at 9.2 in terms of their health. The question is from a talent standpoint, how good is the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver skills of the Titans versus the Packers? Who's got the better players in your mind?
Well, one thing, look, obviously the Titans have Derrick Henry,
Right,
so um, they have the better running back, but maybe running back by committee, maybe Green Bay, okay?
right.
And but one of the things I'm looking at on the report that I want you to click on is let's look at Alan Lazard's health, okay?
Yeah, there you go. So he is yeah, so he's actually gotten a lot better. I mean, he's got a little bit of elevated injury risk, but look, he's at peak health. He's at
Yeah.
peak health. So he's at 86.25%, which means basically he's, even though he's got some injury risk, but man, he's at 8 out of 10, which is
No, and I
optimal. So
bring
yeah.
this up because if he's a go and he's ready to go, he wasn't last week, but Christian Watson stepped up, right? And that's
Yeah.
their second round draft pick. So, he's been kind of having a case of the drops earlier in the season, but he definitely played great, had 3 touchdowns. And if Lazard is playing, um, if you feel Lazard's health is good, and like I
Right.
said, Watson, then they've got 2 good receivers. Um, they haven't had that all season. One of the problems was Lazard was hurt for a few weeks. The other,
Yep.
they were really banged up at receiver. Okay, now, um,
Yeah, even though
and
Watson shows a 5 here, his health score,
uh,
it's just because he had an ankle injury, which we're predicting, he'll be completely healthy by 11/24. So he may have been, if he played so well in the last game, then he may have, been quicker to heal than what we
yeah,
anticipated, right? So,
yeah,
so that number may be actually, this number may be even more elevated because of that. So, all right. So here's the deal. So we've got +3 Titans. Do we have any significant movement to say, are we thinking that we're going to take the Packers basically at -3? Um, so you tell me, the data shows that there's a good chance, because of the poor health of the Titans defensive line, that Packers are going to score a bunch of points, and it's in Green Bay.
hmm
So that's one thing. And the defensive line is not great. It's not poor, but it's not great for the Packers. So it looks like they're going to give up a bunch of points too. Because look at the health score of the offensive skills players
hmm
of the Titans. It's at 9.2.
yeah,
So it looks like this is going to be a high scoring game, right? Like, just from a health standpoint, what do you think?
yeah. And I don't like. I mean, I don't like the 41 over under. Usually, like the night games, Thursday games, you like the under, but here you've got good playmakers, good quarterback play,
Yeah.
both sides. You've got some, and then when you look at the health here, um,
Yep.
defensive line, both of them beat up. I think they're both going to be able to run the ball some.
All right. So let's make the choice, and then you can give your opinion, a money line on this, and then we'll close it. So uh take Packers -3.
Um, are you asking me take Packers -3 or taking the over under? Or are you just asking me
Just
overall?
no, yeah. Take Pat. Like we'll do it
Yeah, based
by the
on
bets.
what I think, I would say taking the Packers -3.
Okay.
And maybe the worst thing is not even buying a half a point. I'll tell you why. I mean,
Yeah.
is the kicker, the Titans kicker's hurt, okay?
Right.
And so
So would you
you
buy juice on that or no?
well, just about, yeah, maybe it'd be $10 on every 100, right? But I'm
Right.
just saying it's maybe worth buying it because this could be, both kickers are a little banged up. Crosby's not doing the kickoffs, but he is the kicker. But Titans kicker, they brought in a second kicker, and so maybe a field goal wins this game. So if you want to try to take the win, maybe the Green Bay wins with a field goal instead of the push. Maybe buying a half a point and have it at 2.5.
Okay. So we've got taking the Packers -3, possibly also potentially buying some juice and making it 2.5. Now the over under number at 41. I like the over here based on what we're seeing. I mean, what are your
Hmm.
thoughts?
I like the over as well here. Uh,
It's just
it goes against
like,
it goes against the theory of night games, primetime games, Thursday games are a lot more unders, okay, than overs in
yeah,
those games.
yeah.
So that's the one thing that I don't love. But um,
How cold is it gonna be? Is it gonna be like 20s or is it gonna be like
yes,
0? So
like
it's not
20s,
like
okay.
0 degrees, So it's like 20s,
No,
so it should be fine.
it's I think it's the coldest game they've played it in November there in
Yeah.
20 or 30 years, okay.
Right,
So
but they played in
right.
colder in just different
And
months,
and I
right?
say
Yeah,
that, yeah, I just bring that up because of the Titans. Does it affect how they play?
yeah,
It is, they've been playing in a lot of warm weather games or indoors and most of the season.
yeah.
But
Okay.
so that's just a thought. Yeah.
Yeah, the 41 number seems low to me based on what we're seeing on the injury data.
Hmm.
It looks like the offensive skills are going to kind of run all over the field and score. And, the Packers, we hope that we'll be scoring just 3.5 more points than the Titans, basically, right? So,
Yeah.
all right. Now, any suggestions on the money line or anything like that for this game, or you're going to pass on that?
I'm a pass on the money line. I think it's um, based on what we're seeing here. I think the Packers should cover.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, everybody. Amir the King, always good to talk to you, my friend. We'll talk for Sunday's games in a few days. All right, brother?
You're looking forward to it. Good
All right,
luck.
man.